Hello, good evening and welcome back to the fish locker in Fuerteventura. Tell you what, it almost looks like the surface of Mars, doesn't it? Yeah. My friend Tom and I were coming and we landed today. We came and wrecked this mark out earlier on while we're waiting to get into the accommodation. Come out for a bit of a recce. And this is going to be our first mark. All we're really looking for, not only have you got to look for somewhere to fish, but you've got to look for somewhere to land the fish. So deep water in close is what we're looking for, and that is what we've found. I can't wait. Oh. There is our trusty steed. We're going to stay down the cliff now. I've got all my rods in here. We're going to be mixing it up a little bit. Mixture of big rods and little rods because we have absolutely no idea what's going to be here. The idea is hopefully to catch some little fish to use to catch big fish. Yeah, this is where we're going. Neither Tom nor I have fished in Fuerteventura before. We've been to other areas of the Canaries. I've fished in Tenerife and in La Palma. So yeah, this is going to be like a learning session. Fingers crossed. I don't care. Yeah, mate. Tom is just setting up down there. I am assuming that we are on low tide. The reason I'm saying that is because when we come earlier on, the water was higher than what it is now. So we're going to be fishing the flood. I'll explain all the rigs and the tackle and everything once we've got it set up and we've got cast out. But at the moment I'm going to have to try and traverse this volcanic cliff. All of the rock that you've got here, it's a volcanic island, so all of the rock is just volcanic rock. So I'll meet you down there. Easy. Yeah. I'm going to do a little bit more exploring tomorrow in daylight. But like I say, today's the first day. All we're looking for is we're looking for deep water close in. Let's get set up. Right, I didn't want to start showing too much because I'm a bit superstitious. I was going to wait until I caught a fish before I started giving you a run through. The first fish has fallen to the hooks. It's not a monster, but it's my first fish in Fuerteventura. It's a couch bream. Now, first thing I've noticed in here in this pool is there is loads of different coloured seaweeds. But yeah, there is. Come on, calm down. You need to be careful of these because they are covered in spines on top of here, look. Top of this dorsal, got loads of spines. Yeah. So there's the first fish, and I've splashed all the lens, of course I have. Let's get him unhooked and get cast back out. Right, just behind me you can see I have my rods set up. I didn't want to mess about too much and get the camera all sorted. I wanted to get baits in the water and I wanted to concentrate on getting the fish first. Now that I've caught the first fish, I feel like I can relax a little bit and I can talk you through the rigs. All these are here is they are my 2 hook scratching rigs, but with a slight difference. Because I was thinking that we're going to be getting like loads of little fish, because the conditions are quite rough, I've shortened the hook length. We've only maybe got 4 or 5 inches there. And I'm using some of the sea weights, glow in the dark pop-up beads, and a glow in the dark lead. Now, I used the glow in the dark lead on the boat the other day when I was fishing for huss, and I outfished my mate like 5 to 1. So yeah, I'm giving it a go. Also these, I'll show you. Just these are a size 4 stinger hook, and I've been baiting it. This one I've been baiting with cockles, and this one I've been baiting with squid. And this is just bait that we got at the supermarket earlier. Right, I'll knock these baits up and I'll shine a light on these and I'll show you how bright they are. Yeah. Got a nice little couch bream. Hey look, all I've been doing is I've been getting a little flotation bait, getting my torch and just charging them up. just giving them a couple of seconds just against the torch there to charge up to like the glow in the dark. And it's it's amazing how much of a difference it makes. Right there. Watch this. See? There's the lead, there's the bait. Crazy, innit? Yeah. And I don't know whether or not it attracts fish to feed, but the fish definitely are going to be like, what's that? Go along there and then find my bait. Yeah. Cast that back out. On one rod, I've got a scratching rig. I've got a little tiny 2-up flapper rig catching small fish, any fish, all the different species. And on the other one, I've got a big bait. I've got a big bait on a pulley rig. So, covering all my bases. On one rod, I've got a big bait. On the other rod, I've got a scratching bait. Let's see what pulls out. Because you can only catch what's there. If there's only going to be little fish there and I was just fishing with 2 big baits, I would blank. And I would like to catch fish. Now, safety is a big thing to me. I'm fishing on an exposed rock mark at night. Usually I'd be wearing a full life jacket. But tonight, I'm wearing one of these. I don't know how best to show you that. I'll put a picture of this in here. It's an Alto belt pack from Spinlock. It's a life belt. Yeah. And what it does is obviously it inflates and just causes like a rubber ring around your belt. Yeah, so I am wearing a PFD. It's just round my belt. It'll soon be time for a bait change on that big rod. When I bring it in, I'll show you the rig. You need to be careful with these because they're covered in spines and they know how to use them. There you go. It's hard to get this to do it justice. Because these are an incredibly pretty and colourful fish, and unfortunately the light is just too strong for it. Look at that bit. Show a little bit better. They are gorgeous. Tell you what, they're liking these little glow beads. Let's get it unhooked and put back. If it's a ray, it might have just sat on it.
Bouncing about all over. It's an up and over rig, so it's about 5 foot. Wait to really move on.
Tom's been fishing the same as I have. He's got a big rod out and he's got a little rod out, and he's just had a really good bite on the big rod. I've just said that I'd have just had 2 real nice pull downs on my big rod over there, and this has just gone as well. Wait to it. Right, it's going. Don't tighten down too much.
Don't run too far over that ledge.
Is there anything I can do? Do you want me to move some stuff out of the way?
Yeah.
It's not locked up, is it? Do you want to change positions? Unfortunately, we're in a position here where we're fishing up against a reef. Tom says that the fish has just run straight into the reef and he can feel the line grating on the side of the rock. So the chance there, what you do is you give it a bit of slack and hope it swims away from the reef so you can bring it back. It's a white skate.
I'm just blacking off.
Right. Nicely done, well done.
Well, off to a start.
Fantastic job, mate, well done. A male white skate. Them eyes. Need to be careful because all of these here are really sharp thorns. They're also called a bottlenose skate. Just as Tom's rod went then, I was actually in the process. I just cast out my scratching rig and I just brought in my bigger bait. Now the scratching rig, as we were landing that white skate, I could see there was a little bit of a bite on it. And I've caught, this is an auxiliary bream. You can tell these apart from others because inside of its mouth is bright red. Yes, that's another species of bream. That's an auxiliary bream. Go and drop this back in a rock pool over there. Yeah, I'll show you the big rig now. Right. This is the big rig. This was an entire sardine pilchard. And all it is, it's just a beefed up pulley rig. I'll flip it together for you. Yeah, that there, that's little tiny fish, that. That's like them little bream that I'm catching. It's just the same type of pulley rig that we've been using at home in the UK for cod and things like that. For cod and for rays. Apart from, it's beefed up. There. It's all £100 mono. £100 rig body and £100 hook length. And for this one, I was using an 8-0. I'm hoping for all sorts. Ideally, what I would love to catch is a bluefish. A bluefish. Your rod going again? Right, I'm coming over. It's all go. Well, there's been an unfortunate turn of events. I just unhooked that white skate. Tom had put his rods up. We'd left it in a pool down there that I'd done a little bit of video of it in a pool. And we're going to leave it there to recover. Meanwhile, I'd come up here to reel in that scratching rig. A big wave's just come and just washed that skate straight out of the pool and away, so we didn't even get a chance to measure it or take any proper photos. But I got the video. Yeah, the tide's turning and it's starting to come up, so that pool that we were using to keep the fish in, can't use it anymore. Just got to be aware of it. Yeah, there you go. Keeping an eye out because we are getting some good bites now. It's almost as if the fish are coming along with the flood. So fingers crossed we'll see some more. Oh yeah, I'll show you this real quick. This is the big bait baited up. Like I said, this is the pulley rig that I'm using. The heavy pulley rig. With a big bait. Just like that. A lot like what you'd use for taupe or skate back in the UK. Getting like, yeah. Those are big baits. Those are like full sardines. And what it is the little bream are just pecking them all to pieces. That was a full sardine 10 minutes ago. They are just like a pack of piranhas. I have finally caught the culprit. Now that is a very interesting looking little chap. I don't quite know what type of bream this is, but he is a good looking one. Yeah, I think that guy's really cool. That like rooster spike on top, fantastic, isn't it? Another species. And that was just on size 4 stinger. Go and get him put back. Right, well, the tide's coming in and the swell's picking up. And it's becoming a little bit dicey. Okay. So there's no point risking it, is there? So I've packed all my gear away. I've tidied up all. There was a little bit of litter when we got here, so I've tidied up everything I can find, and we're ready to go. It was definitely the right idea to come and recce all this out in the daylight, because this mark has got the potential to be quite dangerous if there's a bit of swell running. We're all packed up. Let's get the stuff back to the car. Second day, we were up bright and early. The wonderful maid made me scrambled eggs on toast.
Been promoted.
Yeah, we've had some breakfast. We had a well-needed sleep last night. Yeah, refreshed with new optimism. We're out to go and recce out some shore marks, and also we've brought the low rods with us, so hopefully we'll do a bit of spinning. We're going to the north side of the island, which is supposed to be, we've not been yet, it's supposed to be like sheerer cliffs because it receives most of the weather, so there's quite often quite a lot of swell. We'll see what it's like when we get there, but there's not an awful lot to say about the area, is there? That is definitely one of the things that we've learned about driving around here. Is this is considered to be a normal road. All we've done is we looked on Google Maps at a couple of areas of coast and just come to explore them. It's stunning, isn't it? It's just going to be light spinning setups that we can carry, a couple of loads in our bags, and scrambling across the shore. The little outcrop that we've found, Tom's spinning up there with a couple of loads. We're going to work an area around, just fishing and then moving and fishing and moving. We've just seen like a big group of what looks like bream just kind of hiding behind this rock. So what I've done is I've knocked up just like a little 2-hook scratching rig. Just a really simple 2-hook flapper rig. And I have some little bits of squid from the supermarket. So I'm going to do a little tiny bit of species fishing while Tom's fishing with the lures. And if he starts picking fish up on the lures, I'll switch to the lures. The mark where we are, it is very exposed, so I have got my life belt on. Hopefully we'll show you some fish. All I did there was I used a little piece of limpet. Just knocked one of these limpets off a rock, and the first fish is a canary damsel. They're beautiful, aren't they? Let's give it a shot back. Might not be big, but it's a pretty one. That's an ornate wrasse. Beautiful little guy. I did also, I caught a little called a scarper, a little scorpion fish. Obviously I'm being careful with him because he's got a spike on him. Let's get this little wrasse back. Thomas just caught that is a brown comber. Yeah, there's two species of these you can catch. There's the brown comber and the painted comber. You sometimes catch these in the UK. There's another new species. That is some species of blenny. They're a bit of a handful, aren't they? And look, that one there. That one there is a cracking looking ornate wrasse. Its tail on it, stunning, isn't it? Look. Yeah. They have got a little set of gnashes in there. So yeah, watch them. Beauty, well done. What are you using? You're just using a
limpet.
A little bit of limpet again.
Scavenged freshly.
You know, I was saying a moment ago when Tom got that brown comber that there's two types. A painted comber and a brown comber. Wow. Painted comber and a brown comber. That is a painted comber. Got a mouth and a face like a perch, haven't they? This one's quite a pale one. Usually they've got like a bright blue and an orange bit on them. Tide's turned a little bit round there, so I've come back because the swell was blowing in. These are some massive mussels. This is the type of mussels that they get round here. Yeah, fish with the lures for a little bit. Didn't catch much, and I just couldn't help myself. I mix it up until I can catch fish. So I went straight in for the scratching rigs. Rather than fish it out for 2 hours on the lures and catch nows, I switched it down to the scratching rigs with little tiny hooks, a little bit of squid and also some little limpets. I think we had about 7 or 8 different species. Yeah. We were just talking. I'm saying it's lovely down here now because there's no swell on and it's nice. But I'll tell you what, when I bet there's some weather running in here, when there's some big swell running in here off the sea, I bet it's pretty unforgiving. I mean, imagine the swell rolling straight in there. And within 15 feet it's hit inside your house. Stacks of these Muscovy ducks down here. We're at Los Molinos. I've probably absolutely butchered the pronunciation of that. We saw like a couple of, I don't know if they're eagles or vultures or something flying around earlier on. There's a sign over there saying it's a nesting area for them. We're just wondering whether or not these ducks are here as kind of like a feeding table. So there's stacks of them.
You're not popular with the lady duck, John?
Don't like me. Yeah. Time for a sandwich and a snack.